That is definitely the smoke. What's the smoke coming from? You know, the weather just don't know what to do. Like, I know I talk about the weather a lot. I'm typical Brit, and it's sunny now. Just now when I was filming the cinematics, it was wet and rainy. But anyway, I had a bloody nightmare journey home last night, by the way. That's something we will be talking about in this video. But for now, let me introduce you to my latest purchase. It's a Land Rover Defender 110. It's done, we won't talk about the mileage yet, actually, we'll talk about that in a sec. And it's basically this week's banger of the week. Here we go then. This is a nice occasion, isn't it? A Land Rover Defender 110 2007 plate, which is actually a facelift. So this is like the more modern looking version. I think they've been making these since like the 40s or something, maybe the early 50s. But this is, I have actually had one in stock before. That was a really early car. That was the 90. The difference between the 90 and the 110 is basically the wheelbase, right? I'm gonna get flattened. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna get flattened. So 90 being 90 inches of wheelbase, and then the 110 being 110 inches. They also done 130 inches as well, but they're like mega bucks. Come on, Sammy. Get it in gear properly, mate. Hold on. Is that the Vitara that broke down? It is. That's fixed now, by the way. It needed an EGR valve, so it's good to see that back. It's gonna need a new gearbox if Sammy keeps driving it. Yeah, no pressure, Sammy. Don't crash into the Defender. So, what else can I say about it? It's a car with absolutely massive amount of character. Like, as much as it definitely ain't the most attractive thing in the world, but I do know that people absolutely love these cars. They've got so much love and credit throughout the car world. Probably not so much by people on my channel, but people just seem to love them. The facelift cars have got like a little bulge in the bonnet there. See that? It's all very nice, isn't it? Like an M3 almost. Facelift headlights. It's got a 2.4 Ford Transit Duratorque engine under the bonnet, which replaced the 2.5 TD5 5-cylinder engine. I think they've got similar power levels, but I think this is possibly a bit more reliable. I think it's got a little bit more torque as well. I've not cleaned it. Jerome just said to me, Cal, you're not going to clean that car for the video? And I'm like, nah, it's all about showing them as they come in. Look at this. I'm going to have great pleasure cleaning this car. Definitely going to get the jet wash out very, very soon. Probably after this video, and get all them little bits out. What's this thing here, by the way? Look. No idea what that is. Continuing talking about the character, like look at the edges, like the shape of this car. It's got like a window at the top there. It's also got a bit of lacquer missing off the roof there. In fact, let's walk round to the roof, because we've got this nice ladder on the rear end, so you can put your fat foot on there, hop up. That's my Ring doorbell going up there. Look, see all the lacquer peel. Yeah, not very nice. Definitely needs a bit of paint up there. And as we come around the back, we've got nice little LED rear lights. Look, spare wheel on the back, and then big Land Rover mud flaps down the bottom. Also, we've got a tow bar there as well. Obviously, you've got to have a tow bar if you've got a Defender. It's nice to know like Land Rover teamed up with Ford and put a bloody Transit engine under the bonnet. Like, this is the sort of thing you could take on the world in, couldn't you? Transit engine inside a long wheelbase Land Rover Defender. So on the inside, that steering wheel, it's actually got power steering, which I assumed it wouldn't have, but it's not too unattractive inside. That's probably the wrong use of word. It is very unattractive inside, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So the facelift ones, they can see they've upgraded. Is Sammy's still trying to park that van? Yeah, bless him. Yeah, the facelift ones, they sort of increased the visuals of the dash, I would say, so it's a bit easier on the eye on the inside. And the mileage, whilst we're here, let's press that. Here we go, 172,987 miles. So I don't know, is that bad? These things are made for it, aren't they? So I think it's quite a nice thing, yeah. And they're actually surprisingly valuable. Those that don't know about these Defenders won't know that, yeah, they're quite a lot of money. And some of you are now probably thinking, well, Cal, it's a bit harsh calling this the banger of the week, because it's actually all right and it's worth a bit of money. And you're right to think that, because the actual banger of the week is this car here. Check this out. Here it is then, guys, my real banger of the week, Suzuki Vitara. Yeah, wonderful mix of cars on this channel, isn't there? So, what's the crack with a Grand Vitara? It is a Grand Vitara, by the way, not a Vitara. I think the main difference is number of doors, but we're not here to talk about how many doors my Vitara's got. We're here to talk about what's going on under the bonnet of the Vitara. So basically, last night, me and my dad were on our journey home. He was in front of me, driving the Vitara. I was behind him in the RS7, and then I just see loads of smoke coming out the back of the Vitara, right? I thought, something's not right there. So we just bought this car yesterday. It actually came from one of our traders that we buy all of his part exchanges off. So it's not his fault, you know, he's been part exchanged this car. He dropped it to us, and my dad's attempted to drive it home, and all the smoke started coming out the back. And if you look over here, let's have a little look. There was lots of oil on the floor here. You can see it more in this picture on the screen. There you go. See all the oil on the floor. Nice bit of evidence there that something's definitely wrong with this car. So let's try and start it, yeah? I don't think it will start, but we'll give it a go, and that will help to demonstrate what the issue is with this car. But it's quite nice in here, isn't it? It's quite modern, not too bad at all. Definitely more modern than the Defender. And you know what's funny? Out of two of these cars, you would have put money on that breaking down over this, wouldn't you? But yeah, that's not the case. Automatic gearbox, quite nice inside. I think the mileage, I think it's done about 80,000 miles. Now, when we took this car in, let's spin that camera around, there was definitely like a little funny engine sound, so we was just going to sell it as it is, with an engine fault. But I said to my dad, you know what, Dad, just drive it home, yeah, see if it's all right. And yeah, it obviously didn't get far at all. So we can still sell it with an engine fault, which we probably will do, but I will try and find an engine for it and get it sorted, because it's actually a decent car. It'd be a shame to scrap this. But let me just show you the engine, yeah, because you're probably now wondering, well, what does it sound like, Cal? Have a little listen to this. Let's see if it starts. What's going on? Oh, steering lock. Oh, one hand. That's it. Ready? 3, 2. It's got petrol in it, by the way. 1. That is definitely the smoke. What's the smoke coming from? Don't know. That's smoking. Yeah, forget starting that again. That is definitely the worst sounding engine, like running engine, I've ever heard in my life. That has completely had it, isn't it? So yeah, basically I've got to get it recovered, get it back to Binker, either sell it as a scrap car or try and get an engine for it. So you can see why the Defender is not the bang of the week. The Suzuki gets the title in this week's video, alright? So let's now jump back in the Defender. It's raining. It's raining. Quick. Oh man, so yeah, hashtag the car trade. This thing's got the biggest rear view mirror. It must be like a reverse camera thing. It's got like a screen in the middle with a power lead going somewhere, but that unclips. But it's got a wire attached to it. It's gonna rattle. What the bloody hell am I gonna do with this? It's just gonna wobble. It's gonna wobble around. It's gonna stress me out, and it's gonna stress you out if I leave it there. Oh, come on. That's alright, isn't it? That will have to do. What I'll do actually is maybe just crop it in a little bit. So these two cars, as much as you look probably think, how these two cars are absolute bangers. Yeah, they are bangers, but everything has a sale price, right? And as long as when you sell a car or sell anything, you're transparent with how you sell it, i.e. this Suzuki Vitara is a good car, but it needs a new engine. The person buying it is completely fine with it. But I sell that to a scrap guy or another trader, because we are big suppliers of cars to other car traders. Majority of our cars just go straight off to other car traders. And when you say to them, yeah, it needs a new engine, they're like, sound. But the price will reflect it. They can then put a new engine in it, put the price up for more money and make a profit on it. And the same with this Defender. It ain't the sort of thing I would want to retail myself, because I have no idea about them. I'm not a Land Rover Defender specialist, but it does seem like quite a nice thing. I can honestly say that right now there is nothing majorly wrong with it. It seems to be a really good car. I've just drove it obviously up the road and it was a laugh. Don't get me wrong, we'll talk about that in a sec. But it is a brilliant car, right? So, but I'll sell it to like one of our 4x4 buyers, and they'll prep it up, get it all nice, maybe get the roof painted and sell it for a bit more money and make a profit on it. So that's generally how we work. We do retail the odd car ourselves, but because we deal with so many traders, they're all just like, oh, is that retail bit of stock there? Can I buy that please? And we end up just selling them all to traders. which is just the nature of our business. Very different to how most traders trade. Most traders look to get top money for everything, but because we get offered so many cars, we look to just increase the volume, work our way through all these cars, and as long as we're making a little margin, other traders can prep them all up, earn money out of them. Sometimes prepping cars as well, it is a lot of work, so we just tend to just move them all on, and yeah, it works really well. So yeah, this Defender, let's quickly talk about the spec on this car, because I'm actually so impressed with the spec on it. It is like, it's so much better than I thought. So it's got a centre armrest, which is completely in the wrong place, and it's got heated seats, which is impressive. Heated seats. It's got 7 seats as well, by the way, which is again quite an impressive thing. I think the 90s, Defender 90s are a 4-seater, and Defender 110s are a 7-seater, and it's also got, what else has it got? It's got an enlarged rear view mirror, clock on the dash just up here. Yeah, do you know what? It ain't got much else going for it at all. Should we hit the road? Let's fire up the Defender. Here it goes. Do you know, that instrument cluster ain't too unattractive at all, considering the type of car. Ford Transit engine. It sounds exactly like a Ford Transit. I suppose it would sound like a Ford Transit Calv, because it's got a bloody Ford Transit engine under the bonnet. But it is quite funny to hear that sound under the bonnet as you drive. What else am I going to say? Electronic handbrake. That's something else it's got. Listen to this. Let's stick that front camera on. It's also got wipers that work, the smallest wipers in the world, and it has got the little wires through the windscreen, so it must have a quick clear windscreen, which is also quite impressive. 6-speed manual gearbox, big clunky gearbox, feels exactly like a gearbox on a transit van. Turning circle is absolutely awful. There's a big log there behind me. I just feel like tempted to just hit it, because you can in a Land Rover Defender. Yeah, did I just say that? Turning circle's awful. Did I just say that? I don't even know. I'm talking and not thinking. Just concentrating on my wonderful Suzuki Vitara in front of me. Engine free, ULEZ compliant. It does not produce any emissions. It no longer runs. Right, that's it. Rear off. Where should we go? Down the A5. Yeah, let's go down the A5. So we've got a bit of turbo pull there. It pulls all right. It's got electric windows as well, by the way, guys. Luxuries of life. Do you know what? I'm going to go this way. Yeah, get down on the A5. Let's go this way. Yeah, the turbo feels quite strong. It's clicking into gear nicely. Honest. Oh, there's an old Mark II Golf there. It feels exactly like a Transit, like no different whatsoever. If you've ever driven a Transit, you'll be very familiar with the sound that's coming from under that bonnet right now. And you've got to love a Transit, ain't ya? British icon a Transit is, and so is a Land Rover Defender. So combining the two was a wonderful idea. So it's got cup holders down the bottom here. Got enough cup holders. We all need cup holders in our lives, don't we? Let's see if we can catch up with the Mark II Golf. Now let's quickly talk about values of these cars, right? Because they start, I think I just had a little look on Auto Trader. The cheapest one on Auto Trader, facelift 2.4 110, is, I think it's £12,000. They are a lot of money. This car brand new was about 20, I can't remember, 25 grand. So they've not depreciated much whatsoever. If anything, since the launch of the new one, these have gone up in value because people prefer the traditional look. And the new one, although, yeah, it's obviously a better car, without a doubt, that's going to be a much better car than what one of these is. It's just lost that traditional look completely. So I can see why some people do like these. Now, to drive it, like I say, I've actually driven one of these before, and it was a horrible thing to drive. It's an older car. I drove it only briefly, and I've always been interested to get in the driver's seat one of these to see how bad it is. And honestly, this is going to sound maybe quite surprising. It's not as awful as I thought it was going to be. Like, maybe I jumped into it with expectations it was going to be terrible to drive. It is terrible to drive, but it ain't too bad. Yeah, bit of power there, nothing much at all. I would do draggy times on it, but I just attempted to do 70 miles an hour, and sorry, let's go down. Can't go down that road. Yeah, I would do draggy times on it, but I don't think there's a road locally that's long enough to see this thing to 70 mile an hour, so that's a waste of time. Oh, the steering, that's another thing that gets criticised massively with these cars, and this one is one of those that should also be criticised because the steering wheel is far from straight, and as you go down the roads, you just got no connection with them front wheels whatsoever. But I think the point of this video was, one, to show you the Suzuki Vitara, and also give me a good opportunity to get a Defender on the channel. So I think I'm going to wrap it up now. Nothing more to report. There's the J-Reg Golf in front. But yeah, we're going to end it as that, I think. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked this video, of course. If you did like this video, hit like. If you're new to my channel, I do hope that's not annoyed you too much, by the way, that mirror. Yeah, if you're new to my channel, hit subscribe for a new video every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 o'clock. I'll try and make the next video the car of the week. That might have been the previous video, I don't know. But look out for that. Either way, and yeah, if you're on Instagram, give me a follow on Instagram at Calvin's Car Diary, and I'll see you in my next video, alright? Bye. Since the filming of this video, we had the Suzuki Vitara recovered back to Binker, and we found a company that can supply and fit a new engine. Then the Defender. Yeah, I had the joy of jet washing all them years of grime out from all the nooks and crannies. We cleaned it up and it looked amazing when it was done. As you can imagine, the amount of interest we had from other car traders was mental, and it sold straight away. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, don't worry, it's not another Defender video. I'm actually just using this clip to cover up what I have bought, and the reason for that is because it's the purchase of the week, and that video will be live on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. I'll see you then.